cars, we have seen them evolving from manual transmission to driver assist to autonomous vehicles, right? When I compare the evolution of DevOps into DevSecOps and to platform engineering 1.0 and towards 2.0, I find some similarities. Before I jump in, a quick introduction about myself. I'm the digital product area owner at Volvo Group, and I have spent 13 plus years in automotive software engineering domain, starting with telematics and a couple of years in infotainment, and from last 3 plus years into platform engineering. And today I lead 3 teams that works on DevSecOps, data and AI, supporting building capabilities for embedded software and software-defined vehicles. As you saw, my professional journey, it's been in the automotive industry, and I'm really passionate about vehicles, especially Volvo trucks. So I use a lot of metaphors or terminologies that are closely related to the automobile industry. And let's do a bit of a time travel. 10 years ago, a decade plus ago, how the software deployment process looked like. Developers used to build it, operations guys used to deploy it, QA verified it, and every release took a lot of time. Our customers had to wait for their features to be delivered for months, but it actually took days to develop, but months to have it received. And when I look at that version of software deployment process and strategy, it is similar to driving a manual transmission car. And I remember the release days, a room full of engineers, and deployment happening. They announce back-end deploy, start testing, and then a few minutes later we hear front-end deploy, start testing. If everything goes smooth, then we celebrate. Otherwise, everybody gets to stay longer, right? So, fast forward, or not fast forward, to the present situation, I feel the stage is driver assist. Thanks to the evolution of platform engineering, today we have cloud-native self-service developer help platforms, which has helped us cut down the release time from months to days, and we are able to deploy multiple times a day today. A single defect fix need not wait a week or more to be delivered. And security is something that used to happen once everything was done. There used to be Tara assessment and so on running after everything was done. But today we have security integrated into the pipelines. And time for time travel again, 10 years from now. What are the possibilities? With AI revolutioning, the builds would be faster to develop. The developers can partner with AI co-pilots, paid program with it, and deliver very quickly. And here I would like to narrate something that may sound like science fiction, but imagine you log into your work, you have received your requirement, you open your laptop, you describe something that you need, and then the platform takes it on from there. It builds it, it starts observing, it starts monitoring, it identifies the anomalies, and it starts fixing it, even before the customers know and even before the engineers wake up. There's no 2 a.m. P1 call and humans can sleep. That's where AI is an assistant to help humans live a better life. Part of it is already happening with AI co-pilots and so on. A lot of such practical examples are already discussed, and we are going to hear more about them in the upcoming keynote sessions and the panel discussions. And this is something that I would quote, that in 10 years, platform team's job wouldn't be just building the platforms. It's about enabling the developers. And for example, imagine having a vehicle that is enabled to make its own intelligent decisions. So platform engineering should be treated as not something that we do to develop an infrastructure, but we are treating it as a product and we work towards it so that we have this state achieved. So what does it actually take to get there? As I said, today when we talk about platform engineers, we have certain requirements, certain infra setup to do, cluster setups and so on, and engineers should not take that as a project and just plan to deliver it. Instead, we need to understand that the developers are our real customers, and we need to also understand what problems are they solving. It's not about what projects they are working, what is their requirement, how should we scale their database, and the sorry for that. So I just got lost with recollecting some example, but yeah. So when we talk about platform, as I said, the customers are not end users but are developers, and we should see how in order to understand their problem solving, we also need to enhance our domain knowledge, be it in any organization that you're working in, be it an automotive industry or marketplace. Understand the problems that customers are trying to solve and see how you can design your platform so that it gives flexibility to your customers, the developers, so that they self-help and develop the platform, develop the products at their portals and everything that is very easy to deliver and there's very little time to market. And we all are much familiar with the golden paths. The golden path is not like a fence that the developers are only supposed to do this, that. It should be so flexible that they should be able to, quickly adapt and move on. And to me, the platform engineering success is measured not by how many platforms, how many intelligent features that we have built, but it is about how many teams have adopted to the platform. And one major shift that we need to have, just like we would have for any web app or mobile app development, we would have a backlog of features that we want to build and deliver, and there are timelines, the integration plans and so on. Similarly, for a platform development, we should have a roadmap with the feedback from the developers, converted them into an action or set of actions that will make their usability better. Before I proceed, this is my journey at Volvo Group when I started building a platform team in India 3 years ago. We started small with just one senior DevSecOps engineer, one solution architect and 2 graduates fresh from college. And then there was a setback when our senior engineer chose to leave. And then it took me several months to find a replacement. It was not easy to find the right talent and fill that role. But then I'll dig deeper into that in the next slide. But then later towards 2025, we grew the team, but then there was a major learning for me that it is not just about the technical skills for a strong platform development team. It is a lot about the cultural thing that the people should have. And to be honest, there were tough times where we had to part ways with some of the engineers because I realized that prioritizing technical skills was not just enough. It was not just about the technical skills, but it was also about the cultural aspects like collaboration skills, communication, leadership, to empower your team and think about what you can do, and the innovation that engineers can bring in. It is not an era where you are given a set of tasks, you have your task list and you just plan to deliver it. It is just not that. It is about how you think on what you can achieve to make your platform work like a product. We can take example of WhatsApp. I'm not promoting social media here, but I always take inspiration from WhatsApp. It started as just a messenger app, but today it has so many features. It has evolved into a product that it is the first app that we would all download when we switch to a new phone, or we would transfer the data, right? If you want to talk to somebody, share pictures, share your experiences, how you feel, that's the product. It has everything now. The status updates that are not just restricted to pictures. You can, when I see the journey of WhatsApp, it has got so many features enhanced, and it is still working on it. And the frequency with which they release these updates are also impressive. Same goes for many other social media platforms in the competitive world, where Instagram took over TikTok features and it delivered. I have seen how it used to work inefficiently in the beginning, but today they are so strong. So that's the product development mindset we should have even when we are developing the platform. But as I said, there was a setback phase, and it took me months to find the replacement for a senior DevSecOps engineer in my team. And I have noticed, this is my personal experience, and I have observed that this is the key challenge in the Indian talent market. It's a very competitive market that, first of all, finding the right skill set for DevSecOps, because it's often misunderstood when we say DevSecOps. The profiles that we used to receive were mostly for support engineers or DevOps people, but then DevSecOps has much more scope. So out of 200 plus applications, we could shortlist 50 plus for the interviews, and 20 plus were the right fit. But then the major surprise was we waited for 2-3 months and the candidates just back out, because they are, it's like bidding for your favorite player in IPL. So they were won by other organizations who would bid more. But I just want to leave a request here to all the engineers. Don't just focus on the bid, but focus on enhancing your knowledge in the domain and the organization that you belong to, the value that you can bring, the real revolution that you can help happen, and to the leaders as well. It's not just about increasing the salary structure to attract best people in the market. That's not the strategy. We have to invest in our people, in helping them upskill in all the niche skills that are needed for platform engineering to become a product development strategy. And the major 3 key takeaways that I would like to leave you with, as I mentioned, we all should treat platform as a product and run it like it is a product development mission that we are on, and treat AI as a partner, as your assistant, not as a competitor. It can never replace humans, that's for sure. We still need that human judgment, and especially DevSecOps needs a lot of security aspects where human intelligence is needed to review if whatever AI has done is good to proceed with or not. So, and one last thing, majorly for the leaders, hire for culture and train for skills. And that's about it. Thank you, and I'm open for any questions or suggestions. I would also like to hear if anybody had similar challenges while building their own platform teams. I would be happy to hear. And one thing that I would just mention is that I have spoken to other leaders in the different organizations, echoing the same set of challenges when it came to ramping up the team, DevSecOps team or a platform team. And DevSecOps is not a niche skill, but the niche is where we need the technical strength and the cultural skills about leadership, collaboration, and communication. So that's where it is niche, and I have seen some stalls here who are also, like CloudDat and others, promoting a similar ideology And once again, thanks to Game Skills Media, because this community should grow, and organizations should partner to enhance this DevSecOps and the platform engineering possibilities. We have got infinite possibilities with AI coming in. I end with that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now I'd like to call upon stage Lalit Mittal, VP Platform Engineering, IT Operations and QA from State Street Investment Management to Ferris Map.